I'm Paul Preston. From Venture English, this is Cafe English, an opportunity to practice chatting about various topics in English. But today's topic is a little bit more serious than most topics that we deal with on Cafe English. I chose today's topic because it's so prevalent in the news these days. We are hearing about this so much all around the world. And that is the Black Lives Matter movement. This was, started out most recently by the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota in the US. But of course, that's only the latest in a long string of issues that have come up that have been race-related or very, very blatantly racial. And this is why this one has brought out a lot of reaction, I think, from around the world. And this is really, really important. This is an important time. Really, the reason we know it's important is because of the reaction. We see that people are involved and engaged in this situation, in this argument. And I think from the standpoint of Cafe English, it's a great opportunity to learn another essential skill of conversation, which is the listening part. I think what is most important now for all of us is listening, trying to hear and understand what the other person is saying. This is a very difficult skill to develop in any and all languages, I suppose. But it's such an important skill. And that's why I wanted to talk about it today in relation to Cafe English. I believe that we can understand the situation. We can understand the concerns of the people. And we can understand the very base of their beliefs and their ideas if we listen. But that doesn't mean just a quick listen, listening to a few words. It means really listening deeply and trying to understand. And often trying to understand what we may not feel we agree with right away. But in this case, it's important to not speak, to continue to listen, to understand things clearly. And I think that is a very, very good and very important skill in conversation in general. How can you listen to the voices that are trying to be heard during this situation? Great resources, YouTube, I suppose. You can hear a wide variety of opinions on YouTube. Some of them very useful and some perhaps not. There's a writer that I can recommend by the name of James Baldwin. He's been dead for many years, but he is really an excellent writer and speaker on the issue of racial inequality. He's one of my favorites. But there's many, many more, and I won't go into too many other recommendations because this is an opportunity for you to search for yourself and find out where you can get the information that you want to listen to and understand. But remember, listen to things that are maybe uncomfortable. Listen to things that make you feel some emotions, because those things are also important to help you form your idea. And of course, listening with an open mind is, of course, very important. and of course, extremely difficult. An open mind just means being able to listen without making any judgments, any comparisons to your current ideas. It just means to listen and try to understand the other person. Well, I think that this is really, really useful in today's situation. The skill of listening, the value of listening, the importance of listening. We can understand each other so much better if we listen. And listening is a difficult skill in English. One of the reasons why I do this Cafe English is to help you improve your listening. And I think that this skill is maybe a little bit underrated, but extremely important. So, it's important to listen. It's important to be interested. And it's important to understand. So use this opportunity, use this topic to really try to reach out, listen, and understand. And one more thing you can do to even improve your listening: ask questions. Use this opportunity to ask questions. Ask your friends of color, what do you think about this? If you're a person of color, ask other people of color. Of course, this is important. Listening to each other, listening to everyone's experience. Well, naturally, you can also share your experiences. That's part of conversation too. But the important thing here, I think, is really just learning and appreciating and valuing the art of listening. So that's all I really wanted to talk about on Cafe English today. I hope you'll use this time to go and listen to some perspectives. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't agree, maybe you agree a little bit and don't agree a little bit. All of that's okay, but the important thing is just to listen. Thank you for joining me on Cafe English, and thank you for listening to me. And I really hope that you will use this time to learn more, understand more, and become better than you were before. And English can certainly help you do that. So, thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you next week on Cafe English.